going on, everybody? This is Coach Wood, and I am excited to be back with you guys today for another episode of Weekday Huddle with Coach Wood. So this is where you come to get your football fix, baby. This is where you come to learn more about the industry so you can get a leg up, whether you're a parent, a player, a coach. This is where we want to share that insider football information. We want to talk about some topics. We want to hash some things out so that we can take our football community to the next level. The best organic football community on YouTube is what we're building, and we need your help, baby. So make sure that you hit that subscribe button so that you can get the notifications whenever we drop a new episode of Weekday Huddle with Coach. So, hey, today, we got to get into some coaching today. And today's topic, you guys, is a very important topic. This is actually one of the areas we see a lot of athletes and we see a lot of parents dropping the ball. This is the area where we see a lot of athletes and a lot of parents dropping the ball, you guys. And I get it because this is a little bit new. This is a little bit new and there's more weight on it than ever. But guess what today's topic is? Today's topic is, do you know your market value? Do you know your market value as a football player, as a high school football player, a junior college football player, a transfer portal football player that's trying to get a new deal, that's trying to get a scholarship offer, that's trying to get that NIL money? Do you know your market value? Some of you guys have maybe never even heard that term before, your market value. It's something that's usually tied to some type of purchase. I could be purchasing a home. I could be purchasing a car off of Carfax. I got to look at the Carfax to see what the value is of this car that I'm thinking about getting. Some of you guys may be in the age of transfer portal where you got somebody you're thinking about putting a ring on their finger. So you need to find the market value of the type of ring that you're about to buy, right? You need to go talk to somebody, get a ring appraised, get your home appraised so you know what it's worth. Because if you don't know what it's worth, then what? You're probably going to end up paying too much or you're not going to get what you should have got. Market value is key, and it's more key today than ever before for young football players, all right? Now, when we talk market value, you guys, there's actually two different sets of market value. There's two different market values that athletes need to find out about. One is your market value as far as the level of college football that you can play. What's your market value, all right? Market value for a young athlete that's going from college to the NFL, you figure that out, during the draft process, during the combine, when they're watching your film, you're talking to your agent, what are they telling you? They're telling you what round they think you'll go in. And depending on what round you go in is going to depend the money that you receive, right? Well, it is not that much different now in the college football game, in the college football world, where you better know your market value. And once again, there's two sides to the market value. There's the market value on what level of football I may play, FBS Division I, FCS Division I, D2, D3, NAIA. What market value do I have? What level should I be playing at? All right. And then the other side of the market value, and then obviously this is the newer side for you young student athletes out there and you parents out there that are going to have to navigate this. The other side of the market value game, you guys, is what? It's NIL. It's NIL. What is my NIL value to the University of Missouri? My NIL value at Tennessee, at Florida State. Do you know? All right. So today we're only going to get into the value of what level you should be playing at. How to determine what level of football you should be playing at, you guys. We're going to get into that today. And we've got some stories for down the road centered around value. And then we are going to talk about the NIL side of things down the road as well. But for today, we're talking about the on the field market value. What level of football should I be going to play at? I'm a high school player. I'm a junior college player. I'm coming out the port. What level of college football am I valued at? Because what we see, you guys, we see this. We see when guys don't know their value. So you say, hey, Coach Wood, okay, I hear you on the value thing, my market value. Well, what's the big deal? What if I don't know my value? Can't I just trust what offers are on the table? Here's the thing. If you don't know your market value, this is what's going to happen. You're either going to sell too fast, or you're going to wait too long. You're going to wait too long if you don't know your market value. What's sell too fast, Coach Wood? Sell too fast is that your market value is you're an FCS athlete, but since it's not on your table right now, you're going to go sign with that D2 or that D3 or that NAIA program. Since it's not on your table right now. You're totally unaware of the timelines. You don't know your market value. You're getting fearful because we're human. We get fearful, right? And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and sign with this D2 program. I'm going to go ahead and sign with this D3 program, even though your market value is higher. But you got fearful. It's the same thing as the person that needs to sell this house, right? And they still have some time to sell it. Maybe they want to sell it within the year, but they're not getting many offers right away. And now it's about 3 months in the ball game. They get fearful. They sell the home. They're saying probably this is the best offer I'm going to get. They sell the home. And then lo and behold, down the road, somebody else would have paid more for that home that they found out. But they had already gotten to negotiate. They were already ready to sell the home. And lo and behold, as soon as they taken down the for sale sign and they're saying it's a wrap, somebody else wanted to buy the home. But they're already in escrow. It's the same thing. I'm signing on the dotted line. We just hit the early signing period. So now I'm fearful. Maybe I'm committing to this school and I'm shutting down everything. I'm thinking this is all I'm going to get. But what I don't know is I don't know my value. So how do you know your value? How do you know if you should hold them or fold them? This is business. College football, especially if we're talking at the highest level, Division I, this is business. So you don't want to go guessing game when it comes to business. You need to know. So as an athlete, maybe if I'm a real estate person, I'm getting an appraisal. Maybe if I'm looking at a ring, I'm going to the jeweler and letting them look through the microscope to see if there's any flaws so I could get the real market value on this diamond before I purchase it. Because it may be flawed and I'm going to spend way too much. So when it comes to a football player, it comes to a high school football player trying to get to college, a JC football player trying to get to college, a college player trying to get to the NFL. How do you determine your value? So at the high school and junior college level, also when you're coming out the transfer portal, there's only 2 ways, people, to figure out your market value, and you better figure it out. Because the market value tells us who got a bad deal, who got a good deal, and who got a great deal in business. All right? And this is definitely business, this college football thing. And believe me, the schools look at it that way. All right? So how do I know? There's only 2 ways to know my market value in football. One is by what I'm receiving. Right? By the scholarship offers that are coming my way, the interest that is coming my way, by what I'm receiving, that's going to give me indicators, not tried and true slam dunk cement, sealed in blood indicators, but it is an indicator. All right. And then what you need to know is the timeline. because you may be stressed out, but have plenty of time on the timeline. All right. But what you're receiving during a certain time is definitely an indicator of your value, right? I just put my home up for sale and 5 offers just came in. I was going to sell it for $1 million, but one of the offers was for 1.5. Guess what the market value is now? It ain't $1 million, it's 1.5. All right. So one way to determine market value is in that present moment, what's on my plate? What's on my plate? However, what's on your plate can change. And that actually happened for one of our athletes in a big way, in a huge way, from nothing to power 4. So market value changed fast, and we're going to be sharing his story a little bit down the road in the huddle. But your market value can be estimated by what you are receiving during a certain time. Now that can change, so don't put too much emotion into it. It can change, but that is an indicator of value. What's an indicator of value, Coach, if I don't have any offers on the table? What's the indicator of value if I want to sell my home and I have not put the sign up and I want to see what it's worth? Well, then I got to go to a pro. I got to go to a pro. I got to go to somebody who does this for a living and let them check out my house, let them check out the roof, the backyard, the square footage, check out the comps in the neighborhood, and then give me their professional opinion. And I could say, hey, that's a good indicator of my market value. Have you done that as a football player? The football player version of checking your market value with the pro is sending your film to someone who's in the business of getting people to college on a regular basis. It may not have to be a daily basis like me, but a regular basis. Okay, so that might be your high school coach, your JC coach. It might be your brother who's in recruiting. It may be your trainer who's got all kind of connections. But who is giving you the appraisal? Who is telling you your market value? Because if you know your market value, then you can be a little bit more at peace about whether to sign on the dotted line or wait. To sign on the dotted line or wait. Shedeur Sanders was thinking his market value was what? First, second, third round pick. It ended up being a lot later than that. Now, obviously, there were probably some politics involved with what he had going on, but somebody was telling him your market value is this, and he ended up seeing that it was this. So sometimes it can go wrong, depending on who you're listening to. So you want to get your market value, if you're going the appraisal route, from somebody that's tried and true, somebody that's maybe worked with someone you know, somebody you've seen get results. Not the be all end all, because they could tell you it's this, and somebody gives you an offer for hire. They could tell you you're an FCS kid, and maybe the FBS offer comes. But you need to know your value. You at least need to have a ballpark idea of what your value is. And then when you get into the NIL game, it's a whole different ball game. And you athletes out there, you parents of athletes out there that are going to be playing FBS ball, especially Power 4, you better know the NIL market value for your kid. And we'll get into that later. Like I said, that's a whole nother huddle. This huddle ain't long enough for that conversation. But before you even get to the NIL conversation, what is your market value as far as what level of college football you should be playing? Some of you guys are signing on the dotted line or committing too early. Some people are waiting too late. You should have took that D2. You should have took that FCS. But you sitting up here thinking you're bigger than you are. You don't know your market value. So we're going to be talking about the business, you guys, the business of this beautiful sport from a bunch of different angles. And we got some great stories about how market value changed from some of our athletes within Before You Go Pro that we're going to share with you. But as an athlete in this industry that wants to go big, and we consider big college, And as a parent of an athlete, it is your job to have a very good feel on the market value of that young man, of you as a player. And it changes after every season. It changes after every season. I went to the University of Colorado. You see the helmet back there? They had a few players that thought their value was up here this year. And then after the season, it's down here, baby. So you have to know your market value when you're doing business. All right, when you're doing business. And if you do need a film evaluation, please do not hesitate to reach out to us at Before You Go Pro. Make sure you check out the links in the description box, you guys. We got resources for our audience. We do recruiting. We've got kids getting offers as we speak, which is amazing, changing their lives. We've got free education for you guys. And then we are covering some NIL things for you too. So check out all of the links down there in the description box, you guys. But Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, giving you guys the coaching, the love, the support that we give our athletes at Before You Go Pro. We're going to be covering it all, you guys. It's going to get to the nitty gritty. There's going to be some topics that you're going to be surprised about here soon. So whether it is something trending, whether it is something educational, whether it is something that's going to put some money in your pocket, Coach Wood's going to cover it for you, all right? I got your back. So please make sure that you hit that subscribe button, you guys. This is a labor of love. So excited to work with you, to support you, and to love on you guys. So make sure you bring a friend to the next episode or share the episode with someone that you know needs some football support. All right. I'm Coach Wood. We will definitely see you at the top. Have a good one.